I've taken a couple. One was to establish a prize for the best field research in the domain of social psychology for the year. So providing an acknowledgement and an incentive for people to want to do that work because they get some credit at the end for doing it well. The other is with a co-author, Betsy Levy Pollock. We wrote a chapter on how to do field research so that there's a set of steps that people know to take and danger spots to avoid and so on. We hope that that chapter becomes part of the methodology course of any behavioral science graduate student who would consider doing field research and now has a way to think about it in terms of a structural way to optimize the methodology for it. That's a couple of things I've done. I'm not sure everybody could do that sort of thing, but nonetheless, those struck me as doable. The thing I haven't been able to achieve is to get the editors and reviewers of behavioral science journals to give grace to the individuals who undertake to do that work. It's so taxing, it's so much more complex than just running college sophomores in a laboratory and responding to information on a screen, that something needs to be done to redress the imbalance there. And I am encouraged by the fact that disciplines like economics, disciplines like management and marketing are indeed doing that. My home discipline, social psychology, is not doing that to the same degree because we're more about process than we are about outcomes of a study. So I want that to change and keep my fingers crossed in that direction. I think it does have a home there, and the place it has a home is in academically fueled research books for the larger audience. Popular books that come from, that are based on evidence from academically performed research. If that work is done in the field, buyers will be much more attracted to it because it will be work that produces results in the settings that they're familiar with, the settings that they know, that they interact with every day. And so it'll be much clearer to see the implications of that research for the individuals who would purchase the books. Right. So for example, one set of studies we did was what could a hotel manager put on the sign that exists in almost every hotel room these days, asking people to reuse their towels? Right? Well, we've all been in that hotel. We've all seen that sign. And it wasn't that best practices of the hotel industry produced the optimal wording on that sign. It required an understanding of the conceptualizations and the research findings of behavioral science to foster and to forge the proper message. So that sort of thing, I think, has all kinds of legs. I think they need to have a chief behavioral officer in their units, somebody who can take that responsibility and show them the positive consequences on profits, on employee engagement, on customer loyalty, and so on, that will come from those studies if that person has the budget and the power to undertake those studies. Study done in restaurants. Have you ever been a waiter or waitress, server in a restaurant? Anybody? Okay. you know that tips are very important. So, a study was done in New Jersey restaurants where the waiter was instructed to come to the table in one of four ways at the end of the meal, when all of the merits of the case had already been decided. All right, the food had been ordered, it had been prepared, it had been served, it had been consumed, it had been cleared. All of that is already done. And in the control condition, the waiter comes to the table. Thank you very much for your kind patronage. Please return. In another condition, the waiter brings a mint on the tray for each diner, and his tip goes up 3.3%. Out of the rule for reciprocation. When people have received something, they feel an obligation to give in return. The service was the same, but there was something about the presentation at the end of it. There was a little gift. Okay. Second, another group, they get 2 mints on the tray for each diner, and the waiter's tip goes up 14.1%. Right? All in keeping with this rule for reciprocation. Something as simple as that. Now you might say to me, so what you're telling me, Dr. Cialdini, is people want to give back to those who have given to them. Right? I knew that. Everybody knows that. That's no big surprise. If that's true, what I like about what this study did is to show that if that's true, how come the majority of the restaurants we patronize, there are no mints? If everybody knows that, right? Yeah, everybody knows it at some sort of surface level, but they don't know how to activate it by giving first, and they don't know how to amplify it by giving something that's unexpected, right? Which increases the impact of that small gift dramatically. I do feel more optimism because a lot of the domains and a lot of the disciplines around my own field of social psychology are engaging in field research. And I think there's going to be a spillover effect, especially in behavioral economics. We're going to see that those people who are comfortable in settings other than the laboratory are doing great stuff. The stuff that reporters report on, the stuff that fills books for the trade audience, for the popular audience, and so on. The stuff that gets awards. Right? So my guess is that is going to be the case, and I'm already seeing the beginnings of it, I think. I'll be interested to see what my opinion is in 5 years.